In part one of why I refused a statin drug, I said I would explain in part two how the issue of side effects are able to be downplayed in clinical studies. Before I address this, just a quick recap on the key issue in the last episode when I highlighted the interpretation of data which can make results seem much better than they really are in real life. I showed how the published benefits of a 36% reduction in risk is actually only 1.1%. This is because the relative risk is promoted, not the absolute rate, which is the only one that counts. You must always look at absolute risk when assessing if you should agree to a particular medication. You must also always look at the risk of side effects when assessing the benefits. Unfortunately, the push for wider use of statins, even in the healthy population, has increased over recent years, with some experts suggesting that everyone over the age of 50 should be on a statin. Others suggesting that it should be given to children. Pfizer's even developed a grape-tasting statin for kids. Fortunately, that didn't get much traction. Other experts have suggested putting them in the water supply, and all of this without knowing the true impact of negative side effects. A reasonable question would be, surely the side effects are known from the clinical trials? Indeed they are, but no one other than the pharmaceutical companies can access them. Hard to believe, I know, but listen to this. Under an arrangement with the statin manufacturer, a cardiologist named Rory Collins was instrumental in setting up an organization called CTT Collaboration, which stands for Cholesterol Treatment Trialist Collaboration. Under an arrangement with the pharmaceutical companies, this organization collects the raw data from clinical trials for further assessment. So far, so good. But instead of making the data available for independent researchers to examine the info, that info is kept more secure than the gold at Fort Knox. They will not release any of the data, citing confidentiality with the pharmaceutical companies. Quite a weird situation, given the tens of millions of people throughout the world are taking this drug, experiencing side effects, but they and their doctors are being denied access to information that could help them because of confidentiality. It seems that their lives are not important. In the meantime, the CTT Collaboration publishes meta-analysis advocating the more widespread use of statins. They claim independency, even though it was revealed in the British Medical Journal that they have received in excess of US $300 million from the manufacturers of cholesterol-lowering medications. If you're interested in knowing more about this organization and how they influence the medical fraternity to prescribe more statins, you can do your own research, as there is a lot of info about them on the internet. Before I finish off today, let me give you an example of how side effects of drug can be minimized in a clinical trial. I'll refer to a study called the Heart Protection Study, HPS. In this trial, all participants took a statin drug for 6 weeks called the run-in period. This was before the trial actually began. At the completion of this run-in period, 36% of the participants are excluded from the trial. Now, what does that tell you? If someone was experiencing negative side effects, they wouldn't want to continue, would they? This is very likely the reason why the results of that trial showed few side effects, whereas doctors claim that 20 to 30% of their patients experience negative side effects. In the next part of the series, I will address how the statin drugs work and some other things about cholesterol that you should be aware of. If you've had any experience, with side effects from the statin drugs, please make a comment below. Talk again later. Bye now.